All right, hello, Honors 110. So at this point, we have very little left to go overall for the class. And so as we're wrapping up this workshop process, I wanted to take a moment just to kind of talk a little bit about revision strategies. Now that everyone's shared their work, everyone's getting their feedback from each other. So some key points I want to make mention of in this really quick video lecture here. One, make sure reviewing all of the feedback that you get. Hopefully it's pretty intuitive. You want to review the notes that I provide to you. For sure, I'll be the one actually looking at your revised version of your stories, and so you want to take that into consideration. But also make sure you're looking at your peers' comments as well. They've put a lot of thought into this, and beyond that, sometimes they might have angles on things that you find more helpful or at least different from what I provided to you in my feedback. With all of that, rest assured, you don't have to take all of the advice that you get. I encourage that you read it, that you consider it all, but what you want to look for more so is patterns. Looking for what resonates with you. If you have, 10 people from class saying the same thing, unless you have a very specific reason why no, you disagree with them, or I've told you, actually, I think it's kind of misguided where the class is leading. In general, when you get that kind of numbers, that kind of volume of people saying the same kind of message, it's a good signal that something has to happen there, that deserves some attention on your part. Even if you don't agree completely with suggestions people have raised for you, nonetheless, it's a good sign that that part is worth some attention in revision. Beyond that, think broadly about different things you might experiment with, right? It might include structure, it might include order of events in a story, it might include point of view, it might include use of flashback or interspersing other bits of story in kind of different ways. All of this is on the table, and I think all of it's worthy of consideration as you're moving ahead with your revised draft. Beyond that, though, remember, for this revised version, I'm asking you for 5 to 10 pages. So for in most cases, that is going to mean the piece is going to be at least a little bit longer. And I expect, most stories will benefit from that. But again, we are trying to wrap it up within that 10-page space. If you get a page, even 2 pages over, not the end of the world, that's fine. But try to kind of start reining in around that stage. I think maybe you'll find it's actually for the good of the story if you can do those things. And then finally, a reminder, the process memo is a required part of this assignment. So I am looking for some documentation of what changes you've made and why. The biggest reason I ask for this is just a lot of times I have students invest considerable effort, but it might not be in the most superficially noticeable ways, right? So it might be that when I'm in the course of looking at all the different drafts from all of your classmates, from yourself, that my eyes start to glaze over a little bit, and it might be I say this seems like kind of the same story they submitted for workshop. I don't think they really made many changes, and I kind of grade accordingly. But so especially for those more subtle changes, it's really helpful to give me a sense of what you were doing there. Additionally, it's a good way of just kind of demonstrating your thought process and the effort invested. So even if you've made choices that I frankly disagree with, I think the story is actually weaker as a result of the changes that you made. Showing me a sense of what you were thinking, why you made those changes can often be really helpful. And just kind of rewarding your effort, right? Demonstrating that I understand what you were aiming for, even if I feel like it didn't ultimately work, that's helpful to me. But okay, I'm going to cap this video at that point there. Feel free to include some thoughts in response to this video as well in the lecture in terms of just if you have questions about revision or other things that you wanted to bring up, please feel free to introduce those points. But otherwise, I look forward to working out the final stages of our workshop process, and I'll be going ahead with introducing 2 other stories at our last 2 video lectures for our last 2 class sessions here to wrap up the summer session. All right, thanks everyone.